Linus Tech Tips coverage of PAX 2013 is brought to you by Western Digital, Intel, and SteelSeries.
This is Luke Levisser, and this is his stinky foot. Maybe if he wore socks with his sandals, he wouldn't have that problem. I love the name of the product. We walked by the booth, and I was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. What is this thing?
So basically, it's a D-pad for your feet that you can bind any action to. It's 4 ways. Your foot rests on it all the time, so you don't have to look for the button. You don't have to hover over the button. It works with any game that has modifiers as well, like such as Shift, Control, and Alt. It'll recognize it, so for games like that, that's 16 functions under your foot. You can also adjust the tension and the resistance of the board. We give you springs so that you can modify the feel of it. Some people like a heavier feel or a lighter feel. What else?
Why did you make this? Because there were foot pedals available for PC already.
Right.
So
the main reason why I made this is because I tried other pedals and I was hovering my foot over them, or I was looking and fiddling around the desk looking for them. I wanted something that I knew where my foot was at all times, and I wanted more buttons. That's how it came about.
now, we usually don't talk MSRP on our channel because the usual procedure is click the link in the video description, but I think based on, this is gorgeous, the aluminum construction here, for a first run attempt at building PC hardware, this is very, very nice. You guys know a thing or two about what you're doing here. How much does it cost to get one of these?
It's $119.99, and during the show right now...
Actually, here's just a couple other things I want to mention. I love this. Detachable cable, folks. Detachable cable, if it's something lying around under your desk, you want that to be detachable so you can move it around, or if you accidentally kick it and whatever, it's not going to break it. Not only that, but they've got a nice little S shape or C shape to the router for the cable, so that means that even if you do pull on it pretty hard, there's a very slim chance it's even going to come detached accidentally. It's got nice rubber feet on the bottom, so it's not going to move around whatever kind of surface you have on it. This thing looks outstanding. What are people saying about it? Because you got a bunch of machines set up here.
Oh, they're loving it. They're really liking it. It's something that they've never really thought about. Most gamers are like, oh my God, I can use my feet while I'm gaming. Well, yeah, you can.
And it's funny because there's gamers with disabilities who don't have use of their hands that game with their feet, and yet we never thought of this just for a mainstream gamer. Is there any reason why you could only use one of these at a time? Like, is there a software limitation?
No, not at all, actually. Our software recognizes 2 boards or more. We have DJs using 5 of them. Guys who use guitars, they use them as a 4-way guitar effects pedal. People use them in Photoshop, Illustrator. Sky's the limit.
That is absolutely outstanding. So guys, huge thanks to Luke for doing this interview with us and, well, bringing this to the market. I'm pretty excited about it. Don't miss any of our PAX Prime coverage. Remember, guys, we're powered here at the show by Western Digital, Intel, and SteelSeries, so a big thanks to them for making it possible for us to be here. And thanks.
Thanks a lot.
So there are a few things that actually really weren't covered in the interview, but I've had a chance to try it now. It's awesome. It's as good as you might think it is. So there's a bunch of stuff like the springs that can be adjusted in the bottom. Not only can they be adjusted, they can be adjusted per spring, so you can actually have different tensions for the different directions of the D-pad that you might want to go in. It's super easy to do, so there's an Allen key. You just pop it out, swap the spring, pop it back in. It's more intuitive than you might think. I was only sitting in front of it for about 5 minutes, but if you bind it to things like Melee that might be inconvenient to reach, or things like push to talk, or things like crouch or prone, or even WASD. It's totally up to you, and the flexibility is incredible. I mean, even if you're just doing work, if you were to bind like copy and paste or something like that, you're going to be saving yourself keystrokes and hand movements with something that your feet would be resting on anyway. It's very cool. They also mentioned that the aluminum plate here on the top is so thick that you can't bend it by hand even when it's not attached to the rest of the board. And they have a unit that they've driven over 7 times with a car that is still in use right now. So my feeble stomp test here isn't going to look that impressive.